She wants to know if she's overreacting because she's like this close right now to cutting her sister off. We'll get into her email in a second. Mo, is there anything that any of your sisters could do for you to go, I'm done. That's it. Don't want to talk to you anymore?
Man, honestly, not that I could think of. It would have to be like something that is really something I could never fathom that they would even do. Like, I don't think there's anything remotely close that can get me to cut them off.
And I'm guessing it would have to be over time. Like, it's not a one-time offense.
For sure.
Yeah. Kristen, you and your brother?
It would be the unthinkable.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even want to say it.
Right.
But, I mean, yeah, I can think of one thing, and it would result in a direct cutoff. And it would have to do with my child.
Mm-hmm. Which would never happen.
Which would never
brother,
happen. Yes, of course. But if that was, but that's going to like completely other universes of possibilities.
So what has happened with this Bert Show listener that she's like, I'm this close to cutting my sister off. Bert Show, help me out. And if you guys want to call in and help her out, this doesn't have to be just a spectator sport. You can get in on it. 1-855-BERT Show. Mo's got the email.
Hey, Bert Show. Been a fan for a little while now, maybe 6 years, and I adore your work.
That's not a little while. That's a long while.
We appreciate it.
I know, we've tested you.
I'm seeking some advice. A little bit of background. I'm 25 and my younger sister is 23 with an almost 2-year-old. We share an apartment and the man she had this child with is currently staying. More like bumming with us despite having an on-again, off-again relationship. Not only has he cheated and lied to my sister on several occasions, but he has threatened to leave her, all while admitting to purposely getting her pregnant.
Whoa. Something
about quote-unquote trapping her or something. Eye roll. Now, this guy is extremely immature and selfish, refusing to cook, clean, or even change his own child's diaper. Not hanging out with his baby and yet always inviting his friends over to smoke and play cards. He won't even babysit on the days he has off.
Time out. Fathers don't babysit. Fathers watch their children.
That's a fact. That's a good point.
Okay, continue.
All right. And he's forcing, where was I?
Yep. Even babysit on the days he has off.
Yeah, the babysitting threw me off. I'm with you. Yeah. Forcing my almost 90-year-old grandmother to look after him. And here's the real kicker. He has skipped out on paying his portion of rent and utilities thrice in the past 5 months.
Not often you hear thrice.
No, it's right up there with nudie pic from yesterday. With you.
With all this, you'd think she'd get tired and move on already, but she hasn't. And I don't think she will. Because my sister and I are both on the lease, I can't exactly kick him out without her knowing or getting in the way, because she definitely will. But I have had it. This is putting such a strain on the once sisterly relationship, and it's gotten to the point where I don't even invite her to hang out as often, knowing she'll try to bring deadbeat McGee funny. Along. At this point, I'm almost willing to cut her off completely and let them figure it out on their own, but I know my heart would ache for the baby. I would love any and all advice, please, and thank you. Signed, Seabiscuit.
All right, Bert Show, help her out. 1-855-BERT Show. In a case like this, is it possible to say, I mean, because the cliche is like, at some point you say to your sister, hey, I love you so much, and it hurts me every time you tell me what's going on in your life. I've given you advice. It hurts, it hurts, it hurts. This is the one part of your life I don't want to hear about anymore. And then continue to have a relationship with them?
You can't do that because it's not about hearing about it. You're living in it. Like, he's there. You're like, it's in your face every single day. So I would, and this is when you're living with somebody, it doesn't matter if they're friend, if they're family, baby daddy moves in, whatever. You have to establish rules and boundaries. And I would go ahead and put in writing, be like, listen, you have to pay this amount on this day. This is what you're responsible for. And if you don't, you got to go.
Mm-hmm. I'm definitely with you on that. You certainly have to establish these rules and boundaries. I personally would not cut my sister off, but I would, because I'm living there, I don't think it's unfair to ask anyone in any situation to pull their weight if they're going to be staying in the same place you have to live. So once I establish those boundaries, if my sister can't seem to do that, then I would remove myself from the situation and I wouldn't enable her behavior.
Cass.
It sounds like her sister has really poor self-esteem and is really, because she can't leave this guy. And your sister's not going to leave this guy until she is ready. If this were me, I'd sit my sister down and say, listen, your life is your life, but this is having an effect on me. So from this point forward, nobody who isn't on the lease is not allowed to stay in this apartment, which means deadbeat daddy, bye-bye. I would not cut my sister off because... Here's the thing. You have to look at yourself and say, what are you willing to do? Because your sister at some point is going to reach a breaking point with this guy and is going to need a support system. If you cut her off, you're not that support system and she won't come to you. If you need to protect yourself, then you should go that route. But if you want to be in a place where you want to help your sister down the line, you can't cut her off because that will sever the relationship. So I think you just come to Jesus talk. Daddy's not allowed in the apartment to stay anymore. And then you're there for her, but don't engage. Don't ask her how it's going. Don't involve yourself in the drama. Just be the silent partner to be there when she needs it.
Vance, good morning. Thanks for joining the Bert Show and the Convo. What you got?
I've had a brother, he was on substance abuse, and he used to steal from me and my mom, just all kinds of stuff to support his, whatever he had going on. At that point, I could never really cut him off completely, but I had to distance myself and be still civil and show that brotherly love when it was just me and him and at family functions, but I still had to distance myself and make my life good, and so he could get his stuff in order. And when he got his stuff in order, we're back like it never happened.
So how did he take it initially?
I never really had the conversation with him. I just kind of, you did your life, I did mine, and when we came together, we came together.
That's tough, especially when it comes to family right there, man.
is.
Having that conversation is really hard. But your health's on the line also, right?
The Bert Show.
So first, thanks for watching. Second, you like what you just watched? That just scratches the surface. Get the Bert Show on any podcast platform. We're so good.